All right, here we go, guys. It is going to be picks and pans for game number 1, Najin White Shield versus JinAIR Stealths. Here we go, the Cassidy Z bands right away.
Cassidy coming out against Soon. He has been playing a lot of that champion recently. And there we go. Elise and Nidalee going out as well. So 2 mid bans, 1 jungle ban. And will Mumu live up to his name and actually play a Mumu? That's my big question.
No, I
here.
think that was after his favorite article of clothing that he wears.
Oh,
he likes,
okay.
Maybe, I'm just speculating. I mean, they have to wear their team uniforms when they're in the booth, but
maybe he should get a Najin White Shield Mumu made for himself.
That would be so cool.
It'd be very comfortable.
Would you wear one of those?
No.
I don't think I would either. I gotta be honest, I don't know. Maybe Najin White Shield Zuba pants.
I'd be down with that.
I could be wearing them right now. Nobody knows. The desk covers it up. Well, there's a Corki band, too.
Yeah, Corki, don't want to hand that one over to Zeva, but they will go ahead and snatch up that Ezreal right away. And what will JinAIR decide? Gragas still up. And as we know, that all-in potential against Orianna with Gragas can be relatively dangerous at level 6. Good matchup for Ori pre-6. Very dangerous post-6, but they don't seem to care, and they will lock it in alongside Vi.
Yeah.
So Mumu going for that Vi pickup. We've seen some mixed results with Vi so far.
Yeah.
And Jarvan.
Jarvan and Zyra. Gorilla plays a lot of Zyra to varying degrees of success. Been pretty good, and there's the Caitlyn pickup for Mystic here.
Now, pretty standard picks so far from both of our teams.
Yeah,
not
really
getting too crazy and well-balanced compositions coming in so far.
Yeah.
JinAIR, they stick with these picks. Yep, they've got some decent pick potential, pretty good 5v5 team fight potential here. Not over-committing to one style to play. Got a versatile, standard as standard can be team composition going on. And same thing with Najin Shield so far.
And the possible Renekton for save, and there's a Gragas, yeah. Just like we were predicting, Gragas has become one of the most hotly contested picks in Korea, and really in the world at this point.
Yeah, and what this comes down to, if you want to maximize what you can do with the Gragas-Orianna matchup, is a lot of it is on No-Face shoulders, actually, because he's going to need to be there if they want to guarantee the all-in kill from Gragas onto Orianna. And that said, though, Mumu does have that long-range engage with that Vi, so a strong counter gank possible. And another way to deal with that all-in pressure is to pick a Shen, where it's does a lot for the Orianna. I really like that they last picked Shen right there, because as the Gragas came in, they kept that option open as long as Najin Shield didn't take it. And so now that matchup is no longer going to be quite as threatening for Hoon in the mid lane.
Yeah. So really solid, normal teams for both of these teams.
Yep, pretty much equal split pushing pressure coming out of Renekton and Shen. Of course, Shen has the ability to join the team fights as long as he doesn't get hit by that Renekton W. He can still confer the shield at the very least. Both have long-range engages with Vi and Jarvan, and AoE CC with Gragas and Orianna. I mean, we're pretty much looking for all intents and purposes at a pretty mirrored team composition here in terms of capability.
And I mean, if you look at these team comps too on our screen right now, you see that both of these teams are just really going into this seriously. They just want to play some really serious, basic, standard games of League of Legends. They need to get that win. They want to get to China next month. And here we go, guys. Game number 1 between the JinAIR Stealths and Najin White Shield. Loading up right now. We'll see who's going to take game 1. This series could really go either way. It's going to be close. I've got a good feeling about this one. Let's get in the game. All right, guys, welcome to Summoner's Rift. Feel free to use my voice for that ride if you get tired of the old one. Najin White Shield versus
the
JinAIR Stealths.
Doa announcer pack.
That's
it's
right.
coming.
That's right. It'll be good. If the support gets a kill, I'll be like, so bloodthirsty.
소환사의
I love
협곡에
it.
오신
He's so
것을
good. Hopefully somebody like cuts that out of the VOD and just uses it. Great.
Okay, well, early aggressive jungle play here from the stealths.
Yeah, they're getting right in there. There being the jungle. I just got a bottle of water dropped on my foot by one of our PS. That's okay. It's the thought that counts.
It was.
Trying
Okay.
to keep Doa hydrated. I like that.
All right. Well, just a simple warding mission from the stealths right there, not sticking around for any engage. And the blue wards going down in much greater numbers
Yeah.
from Najin White Shield, and they're throwing down that ward that SK Telecom loves between the second and third turrets.
Yeah, just like Sand People, they move in single file to hide their numbers.
Yeah, they do.
It's true.
It's very effective.
It is. It certainly is.
Okay. Well, interesting that neither of these teams managed to hit the other one despite some extremely aggressive warding from both sides.
Yeah.
And the warding's not done, or is it? We'll have to see. Najin White Shield moving around the top side by that red buff right now.
Looks like they're going to try to take this red. It's a little bit.
That's
This is
kind of
weird.
that is kind of risky, but since we have the
Well,
double
they're doing the
red,
lane swap. I mean,
yeah, since we have the double red invade, it should be
yeah.
all right.
Yep. Should be fine. So team's going to trade red buffs. And we are going to have Najin White Shield moving into that 2v1 against Trace in the top lane. Meanwhile, mid lane is normal, and we've got Mystic and Ice Bear down to the bot lane. They're going to have that 1v2 against Save.
And as you can see right now, Save is opting to go ahead and take Wolves
Yeah, I like this.
early on in order to get some experience. And he's operating on the assumption that Mystic and Ice Bear are going to pile that wave, which is exactly what they appear to be doing.
Yep, that's right. Just helps you hit that level 2 a little bit easier than it would be in lane 2.
Now, might as well if you're going to get denied XP by the long-range poke from Caitlyn and Sona.
Yeah, exactly.
Take some jungle creeps, go back, buy yourself a pot or two.
Wow, Goon's taking a lot of damage early on here. That's a ton of poke coming out of Hoon.
Yeah, well, this is part of that matchup. It can be pretty rough early. That's why you pretty much have to take that crystalline flask and pots. You just absolutely need that sustain, because if you want any CS at all, you're guaranteed to take some autos and
Yep.
some command attacks.
It happens when you're melee AP against Orianna. Lane's pushing up for both sides in the 2v1s. And so far, all quiet. No gank attempts yet by either jungler. Nofe takes some XP, but now
This is a nice
No fake
ward
coming
actually
down.
in the bottom lane.
really good.
They did see him, and if he tried to use that EQ combo into the, they put it in the brush so he couldn't surprise them
Yep.
by coming over. They would have seen him immediately, but instead he's just going to back off right there.
Yep. Goes back and picks up his boots.
Not a lot he could do, and this is the test of the junglers right here, is to see where exactly they're going to go in this situation. We have pretty much a neutral mid lane, and then a lot of pressure from both top and bot on either side.
Yeah.
And the option to just farm up looks the most attractive at this point.
Yeah, can't blame him. I mean, they're going to have that nice combo at level 6-2 between Goong and Nofe, where explosive cast gets everyone out of position. Then they use their movement stuff to try to reposition, and that's when you hit them with Cataclysm and lock them up.
We actually see that the red buff hasn't been entirely cleared yet by Nofe,
Oh, yeah,
because
you're right.
Mumu left a couple creeps there, so he's going to have a delayed second red.
Yeah.
See if that comes into play
Oh,
a
he
little bit
sees it
later
now.
on. Yeah,
Ooh,
it's
Mumu.
pretty late though.
Yeah. Mumu just checking some stuff out at Golems. Doesn't quite connect with Nofe, though.
Well, not a lot of excitement here early
Not
on.
really. You know, in Korean, bulgogi is fish meat, which is confusing because mu is also the sound a cow makes. So sometimes it gets a little bit confusing between fish and beef in Korean.
I can see
For
why.
me, anyway.
I can see why you might have that problem.
It's true. I tried to explain that to a Korean friend once. And they have a different like onomatopoeia for like the sound of cow
Oh,
makes.
and
Like, oh, Hoon in trouble. Yeah, he's not going to make it out of this one. Ignite ticking down, and first blood goes to Nofe. Forget the fish meat. Hoon is dead meat.
mean, dead robot parts at least. Dead steel.
That's right. Robo meat. It's high in iron.
Wow, getting that all in before Gragas even hit 6. That we didn't get to see the setup for that one, but perhaps a little bit of over-aggression there from Hoon.
A little bit. Well, I think he'd probably agree with you.
Well, nice taunt right there from Gorilla. So he gets poked by the plants just a little bit. And both of these turrets very close to going down at the moment. Nofe opting to go actually to Golem's, not even trying to help save his, but he does push Mystic and Ice Bear back a little bit by his very presence.
I feel like we've taken the time machine back to Champion Summer.
Okay, well, first tower goes over to Najin White Shield, and Mystic and Ice Bear, how hard are they going to push this one in before Najin's shield shows up one more time? You can see they're getting rid of that cannon minion just so they can make sure that the wave will push all the way to the turret and not get an unfortunate lane freeze there at the second turret.
Yep, very important. And so far, the JinAIR Stealth's having a little bit of trouble taking their turret in that 2v1. That's going to give a little bit of an edge early on to Najin White Shield. That first blood that Nofe and Gung were able to pick up. So good start, good solid start overall for Najin Shield.
And look at the number of wards already on Najin White Shield. We saw 3 pinks come up. Nofe just dropped the first one of his, but green wards and pink wards for the mid, jungle, and support already pre-7 minutes. So investing a lot of gold into vision control early, and that's going to pay off in terms of a dragon right here.
And there we go. Najin White Shield should be able to get that no problem. And that's going to be extending that gold lead even more. Now we're going to be up to about 2K at 7 minutes. A nice lead now for Najin White Shield.
This is an extremely clean game from Najin White Shield so far.
No kidding.
Obviously, their early game has improved drastically from what we saw. The question is, can their play calling, can the smooth rotations continue throughout the rest of this match? But that was a very well executed Baron and series of backs right there to set up everybody with the proper amount of wards in order to pick that one up early.
You know, well, they've got such a solid play caller in Nofe at jungle, and it was only a matter of time until this squad, if they stuck together long enough like they did, was able to kind of get synced really nicely, and that's certainly paying off now.
And look at this, we also see Save picking up an early pickaxe. This is an unusual build, to say the least, coming out of Renekton. We'll have to see where he decides to go with this.
Yeah.
That is quite odd. It could be a, I don't even know. I have no idea. It could be a Frozen Mallet. It could be an early Last Whisper to harass Shen, who's building a lot of armor.
Could see that. He's already going to be doing a decent amount of damage to Shen here, as you can see. Not too bad, but yeah, really odd build coming in from Save. I have to see what that turns into eventually. Boots of mobility already gotten by Nofe, and that's pretty huge. When you can get that quick boots of mobility, you can really make a much bigger impact in the laning phase.
Yeah, and it's interesting too. We see Mumu without that kill, even though he's got a lot more farm at this point in time, still sticking with just that Spirit Stone. I'm interested to see on his next back. The question that is always interesting for Vi players is, are they going to be going for a faster Ancient Golem, or are they going to be going for that mobility? And there we go!
There it is, knocking Hoon back, and now the Cataclysm comes in. Hoon is not going to get away from this one. And they do come in with the Assault and Battery onto Gung. Mumu trying to get a kill done, but he has to turn around. Yeah, couldn't get that kill. Wouldn't have been worth it. Didn't want to give him the 2-for-1.
And that was very close. I'm not sure whether Save canceled the Stand United or whether they just killed him too fast, because it was extremely close to whether Shen would have come in right there or not.
Could have been either one.
Do manage to take that second kill of the game, and we do see that Mystic and Ice Bear shoved all the way back to their turret already, and now they're starting to take some damage there as well. Nofe coming down, seeing if he can lay down some pain, some very aggressive jungle routing, but it's made possible by the fact, look at all these deep wards already, and Nofe coming in.
There's a shield, he's going to go in. There's a knock-up onto Mystic. Gung over the wall. Mystic with that nice net, backing off in the command protect, and make sure that he stays alive. A nice try, though. Nice gank attempt from Najin Shield, continuing to play just a really clean game.
Yeah, he's going to have a huge advantage in terms of lane presence as well, because Mumu has decided to go for that Kindle Gem. Let's take a look at that again. Hoon getting hit up right there. And there we go. There's the Shockwave now. There we go. W cancel. So that answers that question right there, even though Hoon died pretty darn quickly. And there Mumu is. Try and clean it up, but Gung
Well, with
no
just a
chance of
Spirit
getting that
Stone,
one.
yeah, with just a Spirit Stone, you're not going to be able to do enough damage to get a kill in a situation like that.
And without any combat stats, there's a danger of dying as well.
Exactly.
So not really worth it.
Yep. And Save, I mean, he's been able to put a lot of pressure on this top lane against Trace, and that pickaxe, I feel like, is really paying off in terms of just staying even with the damage.
Yeah, also, it just allows him to wave clear that much better with his Qs. So.
Yep.
Well, everything looking quite good for Najin Shield so far. They are playing a very crisp game.
Yeah. Ice Baron Mystic returning to the bot lane now. Getting back into that 2v2. Nofe using some vision wards to clear out some of the wards of the JinAIR stealths.
Yeah, I love the fact that Najin Shield is opening up so many options for these deep invades by having the wards where they do in that top jungle so early into the game. They've invested much more heavily than most teams do into wards in the early game.
Yeah, I mean,
and it's allowing Nofe so much movement through the jungle, so much freedom, the ability to push Mystic and Ice Bear off that turret like we just saw.
Yeah, I mean, you remember Goon getting that pink ward and a green ward at like 7 minutes. You know, when's the last time you saw your mid laner in solo queue do that? And you can see the kind of impact that it makes if everyone's working together.
Nofe's back already, pink warding that brush, and they'll be set up for another dragon here in just about a minute. But again, Nofe coming
Mystic
through.
gets caught. There's the ultimate. They get the knockup. Counter crescendo, but here comes Nofe in the back. They're going to lock up Ice Bear. Mystic's still alive, but it's going to be one kill easily, and Mystic's never going to live through this one. Goong picks up another kill with the combination explosive cask.
Joe, what? This is such a good use of this vision. I mean,
yeah.
they have this on lockdown, and this is a tight game plan. And the value that those wards have brought to this team in terms of kills, and now this bottom turret is absolutely enormous. They're going to be able to recall and again use these wards if they last long enough one more time in order to take the second dragon of the game as well. This is an incredibly tight game plan.
Yeah, you can really mitigate the cost of those wards if you get a bunch of kills out of it.
Yeah, the backs too really hurting JinAIR stealths right there.
Yep.
And that crescendo just not going to be doing enough with Nofe coming around from another angle.
Yeah, I love it. Nofe jumping right onto Ice Bear, going right past Mystic, knowing that Goong is going to come in from behind and clean it up. Just really great synergy showing out of Najin Shield so far in game one. And 4-0. Another perfect game so far.
Yeah, look at this. Vision wards back up once again. Everyone starting to converge here onto the dragon. You can see Save already waiting, and there we go, the Tiamat. So he will be going for Tiamat this time just to get that additional wave clear early and keep the pressure down on this Shen.
Yep.
That is, I mean, we sometimes see that Tiamat Renekton.
Well, I mean, with the combination of that, and then also the ward control, the ganking that's going on in the mid and bot lanes really makes it super hard for Shen to ever think about split pushing in this game, too.
Yeah. Well, it pretty much just destroys Shen's ability to shove a lane ever and constantly keeps the pressure up. And as long as you have that pressure on a turret, Shen also has to make a pretty tough decision about whether to use Stand United, because it's going to be A, easily canceled if he stays, or B, he's going to have to leave the turret to take a bunch of damage if he decides to move off the lane.
Man, this is just one of the most brutal lockdowns of a game I've ever seen, I think.
Really, really smart play here by Najin Shield.
And Mumu might be in a little bit of trouble. They've got that timer on the red buff. They're going to give that one over. Oh, I don't know. Trace is right there. All right, they're going to go in on to Save here. Trace coming in with that stun. There's the explosive cast shockwave. Oh, no, he messed up his shockwave. Cataclysm on top of everybody there. Hoon flashing out of it. They're going to get the kill onto Renekton, but Goong with another kill onto Hoon. Oh, man, that shockwave. Hoon used it on himself, and he knows it. Big misclick there.
Oh, that could have gone so much better for the stealths. They had managed to catch Najin Shield playing a little bit too far forward there, but without that shockwave, there wasn't a chance in hell that they were going to actually come out with a big win in that fight. And Hoon,
man, haven't seen a player mess up the shockwave like that in a long time.
Oh, he pulled the ball back to him. He got barely out of the range right there, and it appeared back onto him. That Hoon he leashed it just a little bit too far.
Yeah, can't really criticize him too much for that one. That one was really close on the edge of the range.
Yep.
That's tough. That's a really tough break, and that's That's the type of thing that can put a guy on tilt too. So Hoon's going to really need to kind of gather himself together after that one and just kind of push through it. That's rough.
Well, there's the constant pressure continuing, and again, look at these wards at 15 minutes from White Shield. That is not something you see that often. That level of control over an enemy. Now, that said, even though we do see a nearly 5K gold advantage, you have to consider how much money they have spent for this vision this game, which is quite substantial.
Yeah, they've made it
so
all
the
back
actual,
and then some.
Yeah, the actual combat stats difference, though, is not exactly at that full 5K here. So Najin White Shield still in a comfortable lead, but certainly not an insurmountable one.
Yeah. JinAIR, with a couple good team fights, can turn it around, but the way that Shield has been maneuvering around the map, it seems unlikely that they're going to give JinAIR Stealth that opportunity at this point. But we'll have to see. A lot can happen in game of League of Legends.
Well, and like I was saying in Champions Select, both of these team compositions have a very, very similar strengths in terms of they've got about equal split pushing potential with Renekton versus Shen. They've got the long-range jungler engage, and they have a disruption mid laner. The problem is that when you get behind against a composition with similar strengths to yours, it can be really difficult to catch up. You really need different goals, because otherwise you're basically just fighting a mirror match, and when the other team has better items, you're relying on them to make mistakes.
Well, I mean, a lot of people, I'm sure, are playing Jinx versus Jinx mirror matches in blind pick these days, and you know what happens if you get ahead with your Jinx against theirs. You just completely own them from then on.
Now, we do see that difference coming up a little bit in terms of the junglers as well, because NoFace bought so many wards this game that he's not actually substantially ahead in terms of items compared to Mumu.
Yep.
Mumu also already has that Oracle, so he's making quite a substantial sum clearing out these wards.
Yep. Very true. And another little lull in the action as these lanes just get pushed up a bit more by Najin White Shield. Never mind. Dominus Poppy's going in hard on Trace, trying to just push him out of lane, and Trace getting so low. Wow, in the meantime, Zephyr takes out Mumu.
Yeah, getting caught a little bit right there, but Trace with the Sunfire Cape. Again, this Renekton just doing his job of keeping that top lane pressure constantly. It's really nullifying any threat from Shen on the map so far.
Yeah.
I have to say, this is a great answer to the Shen split push that we haven't seen very often.
Very cool stuff, and I mean, Save's going to be doing a ton of damage later on in teamfights. There's the explosive cast again, just using that Grog Assault to push people off a turret, trying to get that little bit of extra damage in. It's such a low cooldown ultimate too, you can really use it a bit frivolously like that, rather.
Yeah, we do see that 1,500 gold advantage already up for Goong right here. Gotta go ahead and steal that blue. That blue actually went onto, oh, it didn't end up going onto Goong. I can't see it because Gragas is so fat.
He's a chubby guy. Hides that blue buff. And here we go, watching Mumu die. And, you know, possibly Trace could have come in on this one, but again, with Renekton all over him, they really wanted it. Wanted it bad, but honestly, those ults don't take a whole lot of time to come back. Cataclysm and Explosive Cask are fairly low cooldown, and the JinAIR ultimate not too far off of that.
And Goong with 3K in the bank just straight up buys Death Cap. So there's a massive power spike for Najin Shield. And that couldn't come at a better time as they start to move out and anticipate the dragon fight that's imminent here.
Yep.
No wards really this time around, or far fewer than they've had previously. They're going to have to wait till Save gets up into that top lane, though, because they need to lock down the Shen if they want to take the dragon.
Yeah, that's right. Well, NoFace using that Oracle to clear out some wards. Dragon up at 10, about. And now everybody's going to start to kind of rotate down there.
I like what Trace is doing, actually, pulling off the wave, not overextending in the lane, and making himself. That provides a lot of pressure as long as they can't see him, because that dragon fight becomes a lot more riskier while they have Save up in that top lane. But will he actually show himself? And he will, okay.
All right. And now we're really at the point. We're going to, you know, Shield has played a really safe game up until this point. Now we're going to see if they can go into a solid mid-game, to a solid late game, rather, and can they close it out? It's the next big question here. Lance taking Dragon a little bit.
Yeah,
And now Save coming down.
Yeah, they're moving Save down. They really don't want that Shen threat right now.
Yep.
Okay, well.
They're going for it. All right, here we go. They're going to let Trace have it. They're going to try to trade this Dragon for that top turret.
Well, they'll be able to.
They'll be able to get back up there, won't they?
Oh, Mumu.
Man. Mumu caught again. And Save should get up there in time. Just barely saved that turret. Oh, Shockwave. All right. Goon just saying hi. And, oh, there's a flash into the Assaulted Battery. Ace in the hole coming in. Nice explosive cask, and that's going to help Goon get away. And there's that Zyra all just used defensively, just to zone it out. Ults used on both sides, but ultimately no kills with the JinAIR stealth.
Yeah, they do have a lot of wave clear as well, but they are going to be able to tank this. Trace, of course, quite tanky. Save already coming in with Dominus up.
Yep. And doesn't look like they're going to be able to use it, but they do save that turret.
Well, that's all they need. They just need to keep the pressure up right here. When we get back to the actual item screen right now, I do want to point out that Gorilla, in spite of being ahead in this game, he's got the assists. He has far more global gold. You'll notice that he doesn't even have that Philo Stone. That is how much he has invested into wards so far this game.
Yeah.
So in the long haul, however, Ice Bear is going to be have more money if this game stretches on with that gold generation item.
You know, the vast majority of supports right now in Korea are going for that Ruby Sightstone before anything else, just to get that little bit extra health in lane, get the ward costs a little bit more taken care of, and you can go for that later Philosopher's Stone and just be a little bit more, especially with Zyra. You can fight a little bit more once you get that earlier health. So generally, I feel like I've been seeing supports go for that rather than the Philo Stone, but Ice Bear will have that little extra income, though.
Oh. Nice barrel onto Hoon there.
Yep.
Over the wall.
You got Ice Barrel.
You got Ice Barrel. Okay, so just waiting for some more aggressive play for Najin Shield right now. They're methodically pushing out the waves one more time.
Yep.
Making sure that they've got the pressure and they can use the vision from the lanes in order to safely ward up again.
Yeah, it's kind of the cycle you go through, is just kind of pushing the lanes, and then, all right, we've got the lane push. What can we do now?
Got a ward.
Yep. Got a
Well,
ward.
you need the vision. You need to know where the champions are so you can safely ward the jungles. So
Yep.
that was a little delay right there. And now they're going to be advancing more with those wards. You can see them accompanying Gorilla.
Yep. Slow push across the map. Very cool stuff.
Very nice. Now they can rotate up into that top lane where Save has been doing some work already. Getting that turret down to about 50%.
That turret's not going to make it. And Gorilla using that plant for a little bit of vision, seeing if people are going to come in around, try to engage. And there it is. Another easy turret. Everything just so smooth for Najin White Shield.
I'm so impressed with the play calling coming out of Najin Shield this game. Everything has been really, really tight.
Yeah. And now down to the bot lane. They're going to take that blue. They can zone out JinAIR Stealth a little bit. Here we go. They're coming in. Assaulted Battery onto Gorilla. They're going to try to lock him up in the back line. Goon coming in. There's the ultimate. Goon gets his first kill onto Mumu. They're going to push Ice Bear back. That explosive cast did so much damage. Double kill for Goon. And the JinAIR Stealths are absolutely scattered. What a rout. Man, you do not want to fight Najin White Shield right now. And they just continue to sort of casually dominate this game.
Yeah, and again, another strong decision right here from Najin White Shield after that. They know they got the 2 kills. They immediately split, they take the blue buff and then split once again, knowing that they can take this turret and really maximize their gains here by properly distributing champions to lanes. Get the pressure up, and now Goose coming back. He's got his ult up. If he needs it to shove off turret, doesn't have to throw it down right there. Zephyr gets caught with the net.
Yep.
But no problem, he'll get back out.
Yeah, there's really no follow-up that the JinAIR Stealths could do right now. Let's watch that team fight again.
Yeah, Goon going for the blue buff right here. Mumu trying to engage. Actually ults Gorilla. A bit of a strange choice right there. Gorilla just choosing to ult the back line, tie up Trace, and look at that ultimate right there.
Wow, and that was in the middle of a 3-man QE knockup combo from Nofe, too.
Very nice team fight right there, courtesy of Najin Shield. Dealt with the threats pretty expertly in the back line and then turned it on its head for the double.
Yeah.
And they got the mid turret too from the minion wave push, so they turned it into 2 turrets and a stolen blue buff. Najin Shield, impressive in terms of their gains and strategy this game.
Yeah, really, really good game from Shield. You know, it seemed like the Stealth thought maybe they could get in and just insta-gib Gorilla before he had a chance to do anything, but damage just not quite high enough yet.
Well, this game is just such a good example of what you can do with wards early on.
Yeah.
I mean, wards are, of course, a risky buy because you have to turn them into something.
Yeah.
You have a limited time frame in order to maximize their efficiency. It's not like an item where you pick it up and it's going to be efficient forever once you purchase it.
You know, like, I feel like a Fives team that wants a game to study as far as like just good basic map control League of Legends. Like
fantastic.
This is the game you make your team watch.
This is a fantastic game.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's not flashy, not a lot of kills, not a lot of bloodthirstiness, unfortunately for me, but just in terms of pure, straight up, solid play, one of the best I think we've seen in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, we don't typically see rotations this good unless we're watching a team like SK Telecom, and I have to say that Najin Shield really just hitting the nail on the head here.
And there's the dragon. Another easy dragon for Shield.
Yeah, and it's even the little things too, like getting the Zyra plant set up so that you don't take any damage in advance, having save up there with the pink ward at Baron just in case.
Yep. And they're going to continue to rotate. Unfortunately, Gorilla preventing that perfect game, but oh well. It's okay. He's I don't actually know. Is a save preventing that one. Yep. I just assume it's a support.
Yeah, and Save has really played the Croc well this time around. Not a big score line, not a big KDA here, but the pressure he produced and how well he contained Trace's Shen was pretty admirable.
And there's the Baron. They just showed No Fei for a moment because, man, this guy's play calls have just been fantastic this game. And that's going to be just a super easy Baron. Now, Shen does take a turret. The first of the game, though. The JinAIR Stealth. Here we go. Mumu going in onto Goon. He was distracting him on the outside, letting the fish Baron. Nice explosive cast. Knocks back Mystic and Hoon. Cataclysm locks up Hoon. Mystic, no health left. No phase zoning really well. The crescendo just inconsequential as there's no damage. Backing that up. Mystic makes it out. Or does he? I guess he does, but
yeah, and
that's going to be probably
that's
close to
Stand
the end of the game.
United not even lasting long enough in order to get Shen into that team fight, so Trace remained in the bottom lane that entire time, had to recall manually to the base, but
there goes the inhibitor, and they're going to just rotate right to top lane and take another one.
It's not really going to be enough, and yeah, there we go. Another one going down.
Yeah, there's just, with one kill total on the JinAIR Stealths right now, and I mean, their farm is okay, but it's still comparable. I mean, a nice lead for Mystic, but there's just no damage coming out of these guys right now.
If Najin Shield continues to play like this, they're going to be a major threat in Champions Winter. I mean, this is some top level play calling that we're seeing right here. Well, Goon comes in. He does a great job of flashing into the explosive cast. And look at Hoon here. Gets destroyed before Stand United can complete. And Mumu follows shortly thereafter. And even the discipline right here. They don't over-pursue Mystic, and they can't because Zephyr runs into a Caitlyn trap. But they don't overcommit to the fight. They instead keep their eyes on the objectives, take those out methodically, and they will certainly close the game at this point.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be nearly impossible now for Ice Bear. Oh, and he gets... Oh, they didn't get the blue.
They didn't get it.
They didn't get it. It was so
just
close. Looked like it.
Barely.
Yeah. Hoon picks up that one.
But it's not particularly relevant at this point in time.
They don't need the blue.
As the march of Najin Shield converges onto the last remaining inhibitor turret.
They really are just like a phalanx, you know, just a wall of shields and pointy things advancing forward.
Nothing they're going to be able to do to stop the super minion wave.
That's about it. So, inhibitor 3, the new target for Najin White Shield. They're going to take down that turret as fast as they possibly can. No Fei ready to get out of there in case he needs to, and he will. And I mean, if you're JinAIR Stealth, you know, what do you do at this point? You're 2 inhibitors down. You think maybe we can just maybe win a team fight. But even if they do, how do you push back 2 lanes of super minions?
I mean, it's not even. Whoa!
Whoa!
Nice bear.
There we go. A little bit.
Taking a choke out as they start getting antsy for the turret. Finally finish it off.
They get
and
it.
You'll notice that they corresponded that with the, of course, the super minions coming into the base. But that'll
Right.
leave them a very easy time closing out this game if they want to.
And I've got a feeling they would. I would. I'd want to close it out if I were them.
Yeah, in fact, you know, they didn't even wait for anyone to stop the minion wave in mid lane. They just waited for it to be there so they would have the maximum tankiness to actually take out the inhibitor turrets.
Yeah, now they're just trying to do everything they can to push JinAIR cells off of that turret. There goes the first Nexus turret. Goon taking turret aggro from the other one, but it doesn't make a bit of difference. He's going to be just fine. There we go. Save popping the ultimate going in onto Hoon's Gen. Stand United gets canceled almost. Oh, actually doesn't. Gets through, but light. I can't talk. Doesn't matter. The game's over anyway. Shockwave goes in. Moo in the middle of everybody, and that's going to be the end of the game as they just focused on the Nexus. GG and Najin White Shield with one of the cleanest games of League of Legends that we have ever seen here.
That was a spectacular game by Najin White Shield. They should be
Yeah.
very proud of that win. It's not even that the JinAIR stealths played badly, it's that Najin White Shield played nearly flawlessly in that game in terms of taking every little inch that they could, turning every ward into more and more and more gold. Very intelligent